This is JordanTower with JT News. Make sure you slap a like on this for me. Well, Funkmaster Flex took to Hot 97 tonight as promised and addressed the whole Drake situation where Drake was on stage earlier this week and he called for Funk Flex to be fired from Hot 97. It came out that he did not say fuck Hot 97. That is not in the audio. Complex News jumped to the story and misspoke. But yes, he did call for the firing of Funkmaster Flex, and Funkmaster Flex is firing back. Now, before Funkmaster Flex got on, Ebro came on the radio yesterday, and he addressed the situation and basically talked about, we're not going to fire Funk Flex because you tell us to.
He makes good dance records, and everyone, he's the most popular rapper in the game. We don't do whatever Drake says.
And basically he admitted that it was a joke that he made up about the whole Eminem coming at Drake thing and blah, blah, blah. Well, Flex, the first thing... Okay, now let me first be neutral in this situation and tell you, Funkmaster Flex, one of the top DJs, made history in the 90s, coming out with albums, had New York on fire. If he dropped your record, Show Love to Your record was going #1. He had that kind of power. And that power obviously went to his head because he started losing steam, I'd say right around 2006-07, which is fine because he had a 20-year run at that point, okay? And nobody can stay on top forever. So he started losing steam in 07-08, right as the digital age really started getting big, with YouTube and everything. And basically, he's been like kicking and screaming since then, starting beef with everybody. But I will not take anything from Flex because he has made history and he is a pioneer in his industry. Now, during his rant tonight about Drake, he made a few good references to some things that, I'll give him credit on. But then he sounded like a hater. 75% of the interview. 25% he made some good points. So let's go right into the beginning of it. So he starts off the whole thing talking about as if that Ebro story really is true about the joke thing with Eminem, like it happened.
Him and Ebro had a lax joking. Drake is saying he didn't say that, just like he didn't say the stuff with that magazine about Hole, right?
Ebro already came out and stated that was a joke he made up. And it was just for a joke, which you shouldn't do. You shouldn't be making jokes. Look how Complex misspoke on the Fuck Hot 97 line, and it went on fire. You got to be responsible as media and do your fact-checking before you report a story. And you shouldn't really be joking about a fake story because people trust you, and your credibility goes down the drain. So anyways, Funkmaster Flex is still delusional like that is real. That's not real. And then he said Drake panicked. He panicked. And, that Eminem might take it seriously and go at him.
He's being terrified of possibly Eminem taking him serious and firing on him. Really worried about you making me lose my job.
Nah, that's not true. And then he goes right into like, See, Funkmaster Flex is stuck in the 90s where, there was a lot of gutter shit around then, and, you had to be tough. If you're a hip-hop listener, you're tough. You have tough listeners, So he's like, I'm not concerned about you. You can't remove me off this station because 70% of your fans wear high heels and sandals.
70% of your fans wear high heels.
It's like, what does that have to do with anything? What are you talking about? Drake sells millions of records, so you can't take that from him. And he tries to address it during the interview, oh no, I like Drake and no, you're trying to seem like the good guy, but you're really being the bad guy. You see how? Don't be fooled. Know how he played into it. So basically, he goes into that. Then he shoots into the whole Meek Mill situation and why those reference tracks came about.
In Meek's camp, if he's going at him, he lays the verse on the song. He gets pressed and questioned. His team panic and give up the reference track to say, whoa, he didn't write it.
And this is kind of interesting because, and he made a good point here. Let's go to the good point that Flex made. He said, this came from your people that basically, when you laid down that reference track, when you laid down that track, and Meek's team thought he was like subliminally coming at Meek on his own track, and he says they panicked and they released the reference track from Quentin Miller and said he didn't even write this, so how could he be coming at Meek? He wasn't in like. He says that this isn't Drake's people anymore. I don't believe that story, but it's interesting. It's an interesting story and twist on why the reference tracks came out. But I don't think anybody would be that irresponsible. And then he goes into this whole thing later in the rant about how he messed up with the whole Quentin Miller situation, as if Drake didn't admit to this situation like within a month of Meek accusing him of having a ghostwriter with reference tracks. Drake addressed it in the Fader saying, this is music. Sometimes you get assistance, blah, blah, it's a collaborative effort. What matters is the final product and entertainment. I mean, he admitted to it. I mean, it's not like he denied it. He did admit to it. And whether you like that he doesn't write all of his own tracks or not, I mean, he definitely writes a lot of his tracks. But, hey, everybody has help. You can't be the top guy putting out as much stuff as he does, any artist, without a little bit of help. I mean, the only phenomenon we'd really seen like that is like Jay-Z or Nas during their times, and I mean those guys are like robots, like truly amazing. So that brings me to the next point where Funk Flex is talking about the top 5 and how that matters, and I agree with him there. Like, it matters if you write all your own material or not in the top 5, because top 5 goes, a lot of things go into that.
We are not concerned with the reference tracks. In the top 5, it matters. If you have help.
Is he top 5 selling? Undeniably. Is he top 5 making the best music? Undeniably. But when you talk about top 5, a lot of factors come in, like, originality and everything. And I hear him on that. I mean, he makes a point with that. But let's stop harping on that, because obviously it doesn't matter anymore. Look at the other artists that are out here nowadays. They have no lyrics. It's mostly just what makes you move. And I'm cool with that. Like, I like that kind of music. I'm just saying that doesn't really, music has evolved since, I mean, he's an old guy. He's almost like in his 50s, Funk Flex. So this matters even more to him. I'm 30, so basically, it still matters to me because I grew up during that era too. I was a kid during the 90s, and that stuff meant a lot then too. So then he made another good point about the whole Jay-Z thing. Jay-Z came for you.
CJ went at you. Future's on that hook because you need him to be street. And Khaled been keeping me off of you for 6 months.
And you didn't say nothing about that. Now, okay, why is this guy even bringing up Jay-Z? Wasn't he just hating on Jay-Z a year ago, saying, I can end your career, Jay-Z? Don't think I can end your career. You stole my app. My website's better than your website. And then he was like trying to play Jay-Z for like 2 nights, claiming he can end Jay-Z's career. Obviously, this guy's delusional. So basically he addresses that. Then he's like, oh, Future was on that song too. But that was a Khaled song. It's not like Future teamed up with, Jay-Z and dissed Drake. So that was a bad point right there. But the good point is Drake should probably address the Jay-Z thing, because they've been kind of going back and forth for the past couple years subliminally. That would be an interesting little battle right there. Well, why not address that situation? Then he goes back into the sandals thing. All your fans wear high heels and sandals. He addresses that again. Who cares? He kind of ends it with the whole Quentin Miller thing again. He goes into all that stuff. It's like, this guy Flex is a hater, man. Let's just, wrap it up. He made a few good points, but, he has a personal problem with Drake, obviously. Maybe Drake fucked his girl or something. I don't know. But he has a personal problem with Drake. He keeps bringing this up. He was all on Meek's side last year, and then when he was gassing everybody up to download the Hot 97 app and go to the website to get the Meek Mill response track. And then he couldn't deliver the Meek Mill response track because when Drake went at Meek Mill, because Meek Mill accused him of not writing his own rhymes, and then Drake basically washed him, and Meek didn't come back with anything. And then Funk Flex said he had something and he didn't, and then people were calling for him to be fired. You know, he went in on Jay-Z before. He's been going back and forth with the Breakfast Club for years, hating on their success. Damon Dash, look these up. Clue, he hated on Clue when Clue left Hot 97. It's like, this guy's a hater, man. You know, he's clinging on to the little power he has left, which isn't much. And, you know, it's just, it's boring. It's boring. So, anyways, I'm just reporting on this for you guys tonight. Check in later tomorrow.